Welcome to Subramani. I'm going to talk about something which many people won't like, ESG, right? ESG to me is a fraud, nothing less than a fraud. Some George Soros kind of elements have made it sure that they have to do certain things to continue their lifestyle at the cost which we will bear. So there is something called green steel, which says the steel is green if you use European processes, right? So something as silly as that. And then they create ESG funds, then they create ESG audit, which means your big four are interested in that, they make money. Then when the company is certified to be ESG, only then the ESG funds can buy you. Being an ESG fund, it allows you to charge extra 30 basis points, 40 basis points, because your size is not very big. So you can call your investment advisors and say, look, I'm stopping the other fund, so you put money in my ESG fund. So you, me, everybody makes money, right? So to me, ESG is a fantastic money making opportunity. Now, when you say that you are ESG, you think of ESG. Let us look at companies like McDonald's or Domino's or Coke. Let's take a case of Coke, or let's take Big Pharma. So is there any ESG worry on Pfizer? Is there any ESG worry on Coke or Pepsi? The answer is no. Oh, sorry, there is ESG worry on Coke, because what happens to the drought that it creates? What happens to the farmer protests in South India? What about the farmer protests all around the world, saying we don't want Coke or Pepsi here because they take away all the water? So so the water table level is going, the water level is going down, the table is going down, they are sucking out more water. That seems to be the problem. I look at it the other way, that if there was no Coke and Pepsi, maybe people would have something else, but the amount of obesity problem, diabetes problem, children diabetes problem is all created by products like what these people make, right? What is sold today as food is not something which your grandmother would have agreed as food. She does not look at food like that, right? When you look at that burger and the size of the burger and the pizza and the Coke and Pepsi that comes with it, so where is the risk for you? I think for me the risk is this is not sustainable. Yes, it could go down in terms of value, but realize that tobacco companies, soft drink companies are making money right now around the world. It is, nobody is saying that, oh, because there is this obesity problem, we should not buy the product. That is not there. Fund managers are not saying that. Even though the CEO of one of the companies has gone on record saying, I don't keep this at home because my children will consume it. So here are very celebrated CEOs all over the world. When countries' prime ministers are happy to meet them, they are celebrated, people talk about them, they come and talk in their home countries of how great they were, how much of effort they put. They make products which they will not give to their children, but they will very happily give it to your children and my children, right? So they are happy doing that. Is there any ESG visible to you? Answer is no. People can't see the ESG in Coke and Pepsi. People can't see the ESG in say TCS. They can't see any ESG problem in Reliance, but they can see ESG problem in Coal India and NTPC. To me, I'm very happy buying. So as a caveat, I've got Reliance in my portfolio. I've got maybe I have Coke and Pepsi because I have some shares of Berkshire Hathaway. And I have shares of Coal India, I have shares of NTPC, I have all the bad ESG shares. I have Indian Oil, and I have those shares. So let me not tell you that I think I can create a fund which is saying this is going to be non-ESG compliant and we will make money. So don't get too much into this ESG trap. For mutual funds, it's a fantastic way of making extra 30 basis points. Internationally, maybe it is 30 basis points. In India, it could be 70 basis points. Good money for the advisor, good money for the asset management company, good money for everybody. but you could get suboptimal returns. So of course you will be told that you have to be very responsible while investing. You have to understand what you're doing. You may have a stand against ESG, but you have to again still worry about sustainability. Yes, you have to worry about sustainability. Look at Mumbai, pathetic infrastructure. Nothing so great which you can do only in South Mumbai. You can do your work from Gokarn or from Himachal Pradesh with same efficiency, but the prices in South Bombay do not fall. So you go and tell somebody that South Bombay prices are not justified. The first question is, can you go short on it? The answer is you can't go short, because you will get completely taken to the cleaners, because in the last 40, 50, 70, 100 years prices have not really fallen in some parts. In some parts it may have fallen, it may have stagnated, but we dare not bet against the house. So in real estate you can't do that. So is ITC a great company? It is fantastic company for a shareholder. So what if it spreads cancer to its customers? Was Jet Airways, was Kingfisher good airlines? Were they giving good service? The answer is yes, they were good airlines giving good service, but they were not making money for the shareholder. So you have to see a company and say from whose point of view are you seeing this, right? So ESG says, I remember a Greta Thunberg tweet. You search it, you will be able to find that in 2018 she said, of course she had not taken the responsibility. She had taken, there are experts who say in 5 years the world will come to an end or something like that. I don't remember what she said. So if you had believed that in 2018, you should have converted to cash and spent all your money, because 2023 the world was going to end, right? So the sky was falling and you had to run, because somebody else was saying that. Luckily or unluckily, many of us didn't. But even assuming there were 10 people who did sell all their portfolio and put it and waited for 2023, they would be very sad to know that the world has not ended, right? So risk from ESG should be visible to you. I was in an ESG conference, I would say, which was telephonic video mode. And one lady said, big companies don't invest in companies which are not ESG compliant, so they will not invest in. And I'm sitting here with the portfolio of ICICI Prudential and HDFC mutual fund, who had bought at that stage. This is I think during COVID time. They had Coal India, they had NTPC, they had all those shares, right? And they were making money. So to me, as an investor or even as a fund manager, your mandate should be very clear that you cannot take a stand. It is none of your business unless you're running an ESG fund. Otherwise, to take a view, for example, I don't invest in ITC. I could see the cash flow. I knew the price was beaten down. I thought there was good upside, but I don't want to be part of a company which spreads cancer. That is my view. That is my problem, not yours, right? You take your call. Luckily or unluckily, a few years ago, I had held ITC for a very long period of time. I sold ITC and I thought now I will get suboptimal returns, because I have put a restriction on myself saying I will not invest in ITC. This has nothing to do with ESG or anything. I decided that a company is spreading cancer, so I will not invest. So I had not invested in ITC. I sold ITC and I bought Siemens, and during that period Siemens just went through the roof, right? I did not know this is going to happen. In fact, I was sure I will get lesser returns in Siemens than in ITC, but ITC then fell dramatically. From 330 it fell down to I think 160 or 170. So that whole fall I was saved, and I was not selling because I thought it was a bad share. I was selling because of two reasons. One, I didn't want to spread cancer, and second, I knew that the government of India was selling it through ETF, which meant it was very clear that the brokers would make money. There's no way how an investor could have made money, right? So that was the reason I was selling that. But the 90% of the reason was I did not want to be in a cancer spewing company, so I shifted to Siemens. Now, well, luck that God said, okay, let me protect you, and he took Siemens up. So that was just luck. It was not some strategy. It was a strategy, yes, to get out of cancer spewing companies. I didn't want to be in it. So risk can come from anywhere. Risk can come from ESG. Yes, water levels are rising. The polar bears are suffering. So any of these things could happen. I'm not even saying sustainability is not important, but understand what you understand by sustainability and don't overdo it. Don't think, oh, overnight things are going to happen. Things happen slowly, right? Wealth creation is also slow. Destruction could also be slow. You have to get invested and keep investing. And also remember, you have to depend on literature out of the US. You have to depend on literature from Europe. You have to depend on literature from Ukraine, from India, from Russia, from China, and then decide what is going to happen. American domination will not be so much. The dollar will definitely see some pushback. People don't want to be in the dollar. So all these things will have some implication of your portfolio, but whatever is the implication, the most important thing is to realize in most cases the problem of risk is caused by me. I cause the risk in my portfolio, but by not seeing something or over worrying about something else, right? So that risk is lying within me. So be a Buddha, think hard, meditate, the risk will emerge. Thank you.